Welcome everyone to Totally Online Gaming Group's Twitch channel. We're glad you guys could join us for another episode of our 5th edition campaign, The Blackest Heart. So, to start things off, as always, we got to give a shout out to our sponsors, Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. They are a family-owned, locally owned here in Central Florida company that is online for your pleasure, and they have lots of dice bags, cool dice trays with amazing logos on them, rollout grid maps that you can use for your campaigns, as well as tons and tons and tons of miniatures that they pride themselves in making sure that the quality is top-notch. Additionally, they can also print out some amazing dice towers and things you wouldn't really call miniatures as to how big they are, like big-ass dragons and stuff like that, and even a Tarrasque. So they've got some really cool stuff. Go ahead and check them out, check their website out, and if you see something you like and you decide, you know what, I'm going to purchase that, make sure you use TOGG15 at checkout. That's TOGG15 at checkout, and you'll get 15% off your purchase. Alright, so I think that is it for our sponsor segment. Does anyone have any announcements that they wish to make?
Yes, Dragonfire45, my channel, is going on a hiatus for a while. I will, yep, that's about it.
All right.
Absolute 20. Pod. I always forget Pod.
Yeah, check out Absolute 20 Pod. It's pretty fun, pretty cool stream. Also, did want to mention, coming up this next week is DragonCon in Atlanta, where I will be with the Critical Hit Gaming Supplies group. And as such, we might not have all the cool graphics and stuff because we'll be playing while I'm on a laptop in my hotel. So, we still will have games though. Still will be doing my normal Wednesday night and Thursday night live streams. But it'd just be a little lower tech, we'll say. Other than that though, I think that's about it. Yes, no? Yep. Seems like it. So, therefore, without any further ado, we bring you The Blackest Heart. Alright, and we are back. So, where we last left off, the party had defeated Diana's mother and basically freed the Shifter Kingdom from the rule of a tyrant. As such, they had a little bit of a deal to honor with a, well, let's say not so savory character. Preparing themselves for that, they gathered up the body of Diana's mother, laid her in the throne room on the dais that stood in the middle of the floor. Eurydice prepared a summoning circle around that and began the ritual. A short while later, as happens in the past, everything went dark, and you could hear the deep breathing and a low growl as Fraz Bleu appeared once again at Eurydice's summons. As he was there, he simply said that the payment was now due, and sucked the soul out of Diana's mother. Figuring their bargain complete, the party seemed to almost audibly gasp with a little bit of relief, as it looked like their offering had been accepted and the deal now complete. However, the voice of Fraz echoed through the darkened room once more and said, I'm still hungry. And as the light yet again appeared that had poured from Diana's mother's body, showing the soul being released up into the atmosphere and then dissipating, the light appeared yet again, this time coming out of a newfound friend and brother to Diana, Michael. His soul ripped horribly from his body and dissipating into nothingness. Fraz quickly departed, even as the party attempted to quickly stop him with a few spells cast in his direction that seemed to just shatter into nothing. As Fraz departed and the light returned to the room, they saw Michael's body lifeless out in the antechamber. Without any hesitation, Rogar took off at a run directly for Michael and began to cast the spell Revivify in an attempt to bring him back. The rest of the party gathered around quickly while Rogar pleaded with him, "Come back, come back." Quickly, Jacob began to draw arcane symbols on the ground, trying to amplify the power of Rogar's spell, seeing if he could use his arcane arts in a way to such help grab on to Michael's soul and draw it back. And then, a lone, somber, lilting voice began to rise up as Diana knelt beside her brother's body, and her voice raised up in a lullaby that her father had once sung her many, many years ago when she was a child, and the same lullaby that Michael had heard from the father before he passed. All of these things seemed to be fate, as, winding together, they reached out for Michael's soul and found it, somehow managing to pull it back from Fraz's grasp as he gasped back to life. And that is where we ended last time. So that is where we are. You are now all kind of gathered around Michael as he is breathing anew and starting to move. Yes.
Did Michael shift back?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, when you found him, it was.
Started.
Yep, when you saw him after the light returned, he was indeed in human form. Yes. Yes, what you don't know is that as he gets up, he's still a fox, and wait a minute, that's not Michael, that's just a regular fox. No, oh, I'm just joking. So, but no, he is laying there, and he's kind of shifting, his eyes open, and he just says, "What happened?"
Diana, because she's still a fox,
Mm-hmm.
is going to scramble onto Michael's chest and just start peppering his face in butter
Okay. Okay, so
and just like snuggling against him.
all right. So you do indeed do that, which we actually can now see in Tailspire. As you see Diana in fox form next to Michael laying on the ground with everyone else around him. And he reaches up and kind of pets the party members. Oh, thank you. Good point. Boom. Thank you. It's a casualty. I hate it when I do that. I forgot to click on a button that allows that sound to come through. So, So, hopefully you can hear them a little better now.
Oh, blah blah blah.
All right, so
Woo.
there we go. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. Now, as you are laying there, or as he's laying there, he kind of reaches up as you're peppering him with little foxo kisses, and he kind of, scratches behind your ear a little bit and smiles weakly. And he says, "I'm so tired. What happened?" And he kind of is looking around. He looks up at Jacob
Can he still
and
understand
Razmith.
me as a fox because we're both shifters?
I don't know. Are you trying to talk to him?
Yeah, because we've talked before when
Yeah.
I was still in the fox form, and he could
Yes.
still understand me.
Well, and it's not because you're shifters. It's because of your
Universal language.
Yeah, your universal language.
It's fine. But yeah, no, she's just gonna go, yeah, I would assume you're tired after having your soul yanked out of your body.
Yeah, and that's my fault. Eurydice is speaking, and she seems very defeated right now. She's like, I'm really sorry about that. I really should have expected something like that.
And he's just kind of, at Diana's words, or for most of you who she can only communicate with a certain number at a time, if I recall correctly.
It's equal to my charisma modifier, and my charisma is a 20, so...
And you already have Jacob, you have Michael, and I know there was at least a couple others that you had started
Eurydice
communicating.
and Rogar.
Eurydice and Rogar.
And
So you
Jacob,
can,
Michael, Eurydice, Rogar, and I think it was Maxium.
I think so too. So that means Razmith cannot understand you currently. So Razmith,
I just hear ah.
you just hear fox noises. Just a little
What is the
yips and
fox
howls.
saying?
What does the fox say? There we go. But yes, it. Everyone else you can understand because she is kind of designated as you able to hear her and understand her, and as her words reach out to Michael, his eyes kind of go wide at the having your soul ripped out portion, and he seems a bit taken aback, and he sees Eurydice there as well, saying it's your fault, and he kind of looks over at you, and just the strange look on his face of confusion, and at the same time, it doesn't look like he's blaming you. You don't see any ire or accusatory look or anything like that aimed in your direction. It is more of just a confusion and a little bit of sadness.
Well, Eurydice still blames herself.
And
How do you think Diana feels since she's the one that made the deal?
he looks up at Rogar, and he says, I heard your voice. And he looks back at Diana, and I heard you sing. How is that possible?
The best way I could phrase this for you to understand right now is a lot of really complicated magic and demons.
Oh. Okay.
Look, just because I was able to free the kingdom from my mother's tyranny doesn't mean I'm smart. I've done a lot of really stupid decisions, and sadly, the consequences of my decisions almost killed you.
I'm here now. I'm alive, and he looks around again. He says, whether you think it's your faults or not, any of you, I think I'm only here again because of you. And then he kind of reaches up. He reaches up and he kind of gives you a little squeeze, and it is kind of weak. It's very light, not you think from lack of effort, but just due to the strength being sapped from him. And then he kind of gently shifts you off of him and tries to stand up, and he gets up to his knees, and then as he's attempting to stand, he almost falls over.
Eurydice.
Rogar?
Yeah, Eurydice will also try to help.
I can't do anything, I'm too small.
She is small bean.
I am small.
So whoever wishes to help him reaches out and kind of catches him. You're all close enough to do such. And help him to his feet, and he kind of looks around, obviously very weak and still kind of a dizzy look in his head, like he's a little bit nauseous.
Would Diana know exactly how tired he's feeling, given her own soul kind of got yeeted from her body at one point?
Give me an intelligence check.
But Eurydice?
Eurydice is definitely.
Eurydice
Give me an
is-
intelligence check,
Times.
Eurydice. Add advantage
An
for
intelligence check?
Eurydice.
Okay, because I've died way too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got a 15.
17.
Nice. Okay. So, yeah, Eurydice, you kind of understand what he's going through. You felt that just bone weariness of, I barely have the strength to stand. I mean, you are Wesley from The Princess Bride near the end. I mean, you cannot even get yourself up. You felt
Yep.
that. You understand that's what he's going through. Diana, you kind of get it, but, you know, I mean, you understand tired, but you don't know if you've ever felt as tired as he appears to be, as weak. And
Just wait until the next morning.
yeah. And he says, perhaps I should lie down somewhere.
Mayhaps thinks you're right.
So, as you guys are helping him and having this discussion, you see Jason come up with his wife in tow, and they look to you, and Jason says, "Well, it appears that things actually worked out. I am pleasantly surprised that we are not all dead." And you can see him almost crying with joy as he's kind of laughing out his words.
Wait, who was saying this?
This is Jason, the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Eurydice, who has never
Alchemist.
met this person, just pats him on the back. She's just like, yeah, wait till you've died a few times. It gets less exciting.
He looks over to his wife. She looks back at him and just kind of shrugs a little bit. And while all this is going on, Diana, you start to feel very, very tired.
Yep, there it is.
And the rest of you, as well, are a little bit weary. Not so much from anything supernatural, you would imagine, but just the battle that you just went through was intense.
And like suck the air out of the room.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it kind of took your breath away. I mean, some of you are probably still gasping for breath a little bit from the exertion. But
Is this the necklace draining finally hitting?
perhaps. Roll a wisdom
Because if
check.
that's the case, she's gone. She's
Yeah.
down.
Roll a wisdom check.
There is no check. She's just down. She has clocked out. She's
Yeah.
asleep. All anybody sees or hears is just thump and unconscious Fox body.
Yep. And you can, if you wish, like I said, roll the wisdom check just to see if you actually realize what's happening before it actually happens. I'll give you that much.
18.
Yeah. You realize, whoa, wait a minute. I
My
think,
magic
yeah,
is not.
it's kind of gone-ish for now, I think. You're out. Okay. Meanwhile,
Time for a nap.
yeah. Meanwhile, what are the rest of you doing? You see, Diana is down.
Picking up my
Yeah.
unconscious body.
Yeah, Diana
I
is
assume Jacob's
obviously
doing that.
asleep. Yeah, he probably would.
He's
You're,
not there.
well, no, he's there. He just
No,
hasn't
he's
said anything.
Dealing with. No, he's still outside dealing with.
Oh, no.
what was I saying?
He was back here for this.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were all there.
All right. Does
Yep.
he help revive Michael?
hmm He was back here for this, and he sees you, and he would definitely, pick you up. Your sleeping form. And what about the rest of you? You're all fairly worn out, as you can see.
Honestly,
Most
I
everyone
may
else is
just
too.
kind of help out any of the people that may be still struggling to walk on their own.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
Eurydice will
help clean up the room a bit.
keep
Okay.
helping wounded and use up the rest of her spell slots for any of the ones who are majorly wounded. and
Okay.
then just use medicine checks for the rest.
Okay, so what about you, Rogar?
Rogar's just gonna go stay by Lady Redstone.
Just kind of guard the unconscious and tied up captive.
Mhm.
Okay, which you have, if I recall correctly, placed in
Yeah, we already put her in the
in a
dungeon,
room,
right?
and yeah, you already.
Yeah.
She's still tied up. You know, she's still got her hands bound and all that with those manacles that you got from the Seekers, specifically from Vrain.
Plus,
And
the Seekers are guarding her.
yes, they are over there, kind of keeping watch. And if you wish to join them, Rogar, you may.
Yeah. Some meditation.
Uh, in the meanwhile, others are also expending their resources, whether magical or physical, to help each other out. And as the rest of this day seems to
Oh,
kind of just carry on. Yes, go ahead.
Eurydice will have someone go get their stuff from the inns and brought to the castle so that they can stay here.
Yep, no problem. And
Probably
Jason.
I'll go back to the
Gymnastics
inn
will go.
and take care of any remaining things I may
Okay.
have
Okay.
left there.
Okay, so
Cole will go with you to help carry stuff.
sounds good. All right, so you've got kind of a little entourage now because you've got yourself, you've got your Steel Guardian, and you've got Cole. So you probably have plenty to carry everybody's stuff up.
Awesome.
And just answering a question real quick. All right. So,
Sorry,
yeah.
I thought everything froze for a moment.
Nope, just me typing.
Okay.
So the rest of the evening kind of wears on, and everyone is kind of pitching in, those that can. Yourselves, your companions, your extended group of companions, with all those that you have met up with and brought together for this purpose, as well as others that citizens of the Shifter Kingdom, helping each other out, kind of cleaning up the aftermath of the battle, dealing with the casualties on both sides in fair manner. It seems that even those that had fought against them, the citizenry is honoring them with proper burials. And eventually it is late into the evening, and all of you find yourselves exhausted by the events of the day, so much so that you feel like, yeah, I think we all need to get some sleep. And you eventually drift off to sleep, finding some rooms with which to do so, and the night goes by fairly uneventful. As the morning sun rises, you all wake up, all gaining the benefits of the long rest, with the exception of Diana, who is still out cold. And her brother Michael, you imagine he's still sleeping, as he has not come out of the room that he's in yet. And it's understandable, being what he went through. So you're not worried yet, but who knows. So it is morning time. Is there anything that you wish to do for the morning or for this day?
Eurydice, after eating and making sure she's prepared for the day, she is going to comb the castle once again to see if there are any traps or leftover stuff from the crystal, and just go over the castle with a fine-tooth comb and search everything.
Okay. As you're going through and looking for everything, how much time are you going to spend doing this? I mean, how detailed do you really want to be?
I will spend until 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, so you're really taking your time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are searching every little nook and cranny, and because you're being so detailed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, go ahead and give me, let's see, we'll call 4 investigation checks, and I will allow you advantage because you are taking such a long time and trying to be so thorough. So roll those, and then tell me what your results are.
Hold on, I need to get more d20s.
Okay.
because-
While you're doing
okay.
that, Rogar and Razmith, what are
Yeah.
you guys doing?
Rogar, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Rogar will release Aldor from his services. And next morning, well, not next morning, same morning, he will.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, see, glad you're gone. He will find Greater Steed.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to cast
see.
that.
Yep, he's reaching out to the Celestials this time. He's done with the Fae. He's like, I don't like any single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's reaching out. He pulled. Well, he doesn't pull. Look, man, I don't like their voices. Yeah.
It's okay.
Rude.
Man, I might be prejudiced. Maybe because my last character was a Fae. But yeah, I'll reach out and poof a large ass fucking Pegasus.
Okay. Okay.
Black, all black.
All black. It is this
I'm ripping.
this jet black. I mean, it
Clash of the
almost so,
Titans, Pegasus.
yeah, almost so black. Yeah, Clash of the Titans Pegasus. And it's almost so black. Like have you heard of that, like Vanta Black and like Black 2.0?
Oh,
Those
yeah.
that like are so
No.
black they
If you look
absorb
at
all
them
light.
from straight on,
Yeah.
you can't see your horse.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, is that a silhouette
the
of a horse? It doesn't look
It is a black
3-dimensional.
hole of horse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even
No,
the
it
version won't help you here.
it is so black. Yet when you look at it, when the rest of you look at it, you see a beautiful black steed with these gorgeous black feathery wings. But Rogar, when you look at it, and Eurydice, when you look at it,
Ooh.
there is this very, very, very faint purple glow seeming to outline its entire body.
Fancy.
I'm gonna look to the horse. I'm gonna name you Arwen. I'm just gonna preemptively do this.
Arwen,
So
Arwen,
you
that
didn't
sounds
ask
like a
me to have
great
his own
name.
name.
I am all for that. That sounds so good. What do you want to do, boss?
Yes. Yes. He's like Blackjack.
Instead of
There's
getting-
Jack. Yes.
Instead of getting a really depressed one, I have a really hyper one now.
I love
You
this.
just can't win, man.
I can't.
Can't.
Why can't I? Well, I guess I'm depressing in a sense.
Hey, maybe
It made
he's
more sense for the
maybe
Fae.
he's your counterbalance. You know?
There you go.
I just always refer to Rogar as boss.
Oh, it's already happening.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
What the
Name it
fuck are- what-
Blackjack.
I'm too late. It's named Arwen.
Eurydice.
Arwen, I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm.
I'm good with that. That sounds like a great name. And what's your name, boss?
Rogar.
Rogar. Sounds good. Good. All right, boss.
Just say Roger. Like,
Well,
Gur?
No, just Rogar.
Just,
Keep
Yeah,
doing it
yeah.
again.
just stick with boss. That's
You got it,
easy,
boss.
man.
You got it.
Oh, I love it. I
How
got my
wise?
roll.
Oh, you're just as smart as me. Damn, it's crazy. Other than that, yeah, I will go to Lady Redstone and hear her whatever it's called.
Testimony.
Confession?
Testimony. Oh, all right.
Yeah. I'm sure
Okay.
she's not gonna confess, but I
Alright.
mean, I could zone a truther.
Okay.
I have my rolls for the.
Okay.
Combing up the
Let's
castle.
hear your rolls, and then we're gonna go see what Razmith is up to.
Okay, I got a 32, 28, 25, and 25.
32. Damn. Okay, so, were any of those a natural 20?
Yes, the 32 was a natural 20.
Okay, I was gonna say, holy shit. Well, in that case here, come on, chat. We got a natural 20. Let's see those natural 20 emotes. Okay, come on, hit it hard. All right, the first natural 20 emote spammer other than me is gonna get a gift sub to the stream. Well, you don't count, Rogar.
I just do one. It was before you said it. I was just shocked. Look, man, I have real internet now. I was like, well, I can actually watch the stream.
Well, there
and
you
do
go.
what I used to do.
There you go. So the first one to spam natural 20s, our natural 20 emote, gets a free gift sub. So basically, you get a free month of being a subscriber, which means you get some other cool emotes. All right. So with those rolls, as you are going through, you find a couple little traps in the former queen's room, primarily on some of her drawers, and as you spring those traps easily, avoiding any damage, you open those drawers.
No, you see, I have one of the dumbasses with me, specifically Orion, and I put him in front of me.
Okay, so you're just finding it and having him be the human trap spring. Okay,
yes. Because I think it's funny.
You don't count either, Dragonfire 45.
Shut up.
All right,
and,
so
making people have pain is how I show affection.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, you did really good.
well, Orion feels loved.
Good.
As he takes, it's nothing major. They're more annoyances, and they. Well, give me an Arcana check, actually.
$30-20.
Okay, yeah, you think in addition to being a mild physical deterrent with a little bit of pain, that there is some kind of arcane element to it that alarms or alerts the person who originally set that trap. So you think it's some kind of just alarm spell that probably would alert the former queen when someone's tampering with her stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, he's not happy about it as he walks away with some bruises, a few chemical burns, and some pretty deep cuts on his arm from one of them.
Nothing he isn't used to.
Yeah, but he kind of gives you dirty looks every time you're forcing him to do the opening.
Just gives him a thumb up. Like I just imagine him not having a clue the first time.
Oh no,
and then
no.
he
That's where he got the chemical burns.
Yeah.
So, but
it takes him two more tries to figure out that she's doing this on purpose.
On purpose, yes. Even for as smart as he is, it does take him longer.
He trusts in his family.
Yep. So, when you do get those drawers open, what you notice in there is some ledgers and some what looks to be like personal notes or journal entries of some kind. And other than that, in the entire rest of the palace, everywhere you search, you don't find any other traps. You don't find any other secret passageways or doors. Actually, I'll say you do find one exactly opposite of where you found the secret door to the mausoleum. Mm-hmm. On the opposite wall of that room, there's another secret door going to another mausoleum with some even older stones. In fact, there are no actual corpses in there that you can tell. It seems to be more of just like plaques representing names from way, 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 way back. But other than that, there is really nothing else.
Okay.
So that's what you get.
Go ahead and do Rogar's stuff.
Well, it's Razmith we're going to jump to for just a moment, and then we're going to pop back to Rogar. So, we finally got a Jakob in. Awesome. And important question, did you get your car?
I did.
Haha, nice.
Granny Smith is all here and ready to go.
All right. Okay, and we will fix the cameras to make sure everyone is in the right space here. Just give us a moment for that. So, Razmith, what
Hello.
is it that you wished to do during this this time?
Honestly, I was going to see if there was going to be, or talk to somebody to see if there'd be a way to set up a teleportation circle back to, I believe Stonehaven, what it was?
Okay.
If
So
that would even be possible. I know I don't have that type of magic. I don't know if they have a thing that's set up, or if I'm trying to see how Galar's gonna go home, basically.
okay. Well, is there anyone in particular you are asking, or are you just kind of asking around for general information to try to see what's going on?
Asking generally until I can start getting some specified answers, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really know who I would go to see this.
Oh.
Honestly, the first person to come to mind would be Jacob.
Well, he's here.
Mr. What? I'm sorry.
Hi. I don't know if you know how to make a teleportation circle or if there's one in the area here, but Galar needs to get back home to talk to Frody. I found some documentation that specifies that rock thing that you guys are talking about, and we need to talk to him, and I was trying to find the fastest way to get her home.
Well, I don't have a direct way to make a...
I don't know how that goes about. It was just something that popped in my head.
Alright,
Did you just get Scottish there for a minute?
No.
Jacob?
What I can do... I don't know how that's gonna work, but I could attempt to send her back there.
Okay. How?
Well, Jacob is going to flip through his book. Oh, I guess the better question: do you have a permanent circle there currently?
Yes. Yeah. We should have one in town.
Okay. Ooh, do you know what it happens to look like? And could you basically show me the sigils and everything that are involved with that specific circle?
You might want to ask to roll for that one because you have a really high
Yeah.
intelligence. So
Can I
rather
do-
than just you immediately going no.
Well, no. I was gonna say, yeah. Can I would I know the exact sigils?
You will have to roll for that, I would say.
Okay.
What would he have to roll?
One of these 20 thingies.
Oh, I just bet if it was like a stat or not.
Oh, yeah, it would be, well, honestly, that would probably be an Arcana check, I would say.
Okay, then thank God, it's 20.
Woo!
Dirty
I rolled
20
11,
or
but I got a
dirty
plus-
20 or
I-
net?
No,
Oh,
I rolled an 11, but I have a plus 9 in Arcana.
nice.
Nice.
Okay. So you're trying to figure out if you know the sigils for a teleportation circle. Is that correct?
The one that's in my hometown.
In your
I can't
hometown.
recall. Was it called
You-
Stonehaven?
Yes. It is
Okay.
called Stonehaven. You are pretty sure you understand. You don't know all the symbols needed to create a teleportation circle necessarily, but you do know that it does require specific ones for the location that it is connected to, that you want to send someone to. So if you've got, okay, I've got these symbols. If I'm doing like a direct one-to-one circle, okay, but
Okay.
you're not quite sure exactly how those teleportation circles work. So you know the symbols that would represent Stonehaven would be kind of a mountain peak with a smaller peak next to it, so it kind of looks like an M shape, but with one of the peaks of the M shorter. You know that one. You know that another one is, it's got a few dwarven ruins on it, but it is basically a pickaxe with a couple dwarven runes that are basically the dwarven name of Stonehaven. And then there is another one that is a gemstone shape, like think like just a nice princess cut gemstone outline. And that is one of the symbols that needs to be used in order to represent Stonehaven in a teleportation circle. Now, what other symbols might be required just for the teleportation circle to work, you're not sure. But you do know the ones for Stonehaven.
Razmith would kind of like take his finger and like write this down out in the dirt, and I can't really recall the rest of the things, but we could possibly ask Galar. She might have a better memory than I.
Out of game question.
Yes.
Would Jacob what I've been given, and if Jacob knew how to create a teleportation circle and the rooms for it specifically, would it work? Quote unquote.
Roll an Arcana check.
All right, I can do that. Get my dice.
1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep.
She's sleeping.
Why is Galder there? 4 sheep, 5 sheep. Galder again. 6 sheep.
Let's see. At that number, why can't I not? 26.
26.
No, 24. My bad.
24. Okay. So, what you realize is that while the symbols for Stonehaven would be important to be included, what actually happens for a teleportation circle is you would have to cast it repeatedly in the same spot every day for a year. And if you did that, you cast that teleportation circle spell, one of the things you would include is not just the Stonehaven symbols, but basically as a ring around, kind of the outer ring of it, you need 3 symbols for each city that has a teleportation circle that you're trying to connect to. It has to be included as part of it. And then, once that is established and has been cast every day for a year, you know that at that point, you can go to the teleportation circle and you can basically recite the keywords that are imbued within that circle, and then include, okay, as you're doing it, the symbols representing the city you want to go to, and those symbols will light up on the ring, and you will match with the teleportation circle that they have there, and instantly be transported there without error. Now, if there isn't a teleportation circle where you're trying to connect to, there's a chance you're not going to get there.
But Jacob does know that there's a teleportation circle, and he knows enough of the teleportation circle that he could probably figure out how that one is designed.
Yes, you are pretty sure that you could create one. But
Okay,
it's
well.
going to take you a year. Every day of casting it in the same spot.
Bring Gala. I think I can do this now.
Yep, if you're just teleporting to one that exists, yes.
I'll go get it right now. And you just see him kind of shuffle his feet real fast and, Galar! Where are you?
Okay, that's
what?
gonna be rough.
What do you want, brother?
Get your things, you're leaving now, apparently.
Really? How'd you manage that one?
I asked Jacob, he said he can do it now, apparently.
Oh, fancy wizard, are ya? Alright then, let me grab my shit.
Okay, while that's all going on,
45 sheep, 46
Jacob is
sheep.
going to just kind of lightly lean over to where Diana is.
Dead asleep.
Yep.
Gone to the world.
Yep.
Drooling. I want tongue out of the mouth drooling.
It's been 24 hours and she's still unconscious.
Yeah.
He's just
Damn, that
gonna
makes my
kind of,
plans harder.
Mm-hmm.
just gonna kind of like scratch the top of the head. Whether or not she stirs or not, he's just going.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
So-
There is no movement at all.
You can
So-
barely see her breathing.
And I mean, again, he's just going to. So I'm going to be gone for at least 8 hours, but then I will be back.
Why are the sheep suddenly buying in British? What is happening?
It's not British. It's
sheep.
it's not British. It's South Cadiz.
Why are the sheep British?
And then while they're still looking around for things, Jacob is just going to find something in the room that seems to have been in the room for a very long time.
Not hard. You find something.
All right.
Wait, what room are you guys in?
A room.
That's a good
Hey,
question.
there we go. We finally got it. Hammerand, you are the critical D20 roller, natural 20 roller that has won a gift sub. So,
Nice.
all right. So now I just need to go and do that. So sorry about the interruption, guys. Continue.
Okay. I'm assuming there are curtains.
Yeah,
Jacob's gonna feel bad.
there are
He's
curtains.
gonna tear off a small corner of the curtain. He's gonna put it in his components.
All right.
And then he is going to wait for Galar and Razmith to re-show up.
You gotta stuff
Okay.
your legs. You gotta give it a minute.
Alright, so technically if he also wanted to, he could technically come along too so that he can see his family if he wishes. But I don't know, I mean there's a lot of different things that are probably going to be happening. I would rather not take everyone because I still would want someone to hear.
Well,
Jacob just
well,
ran
no,
over
I-
himself.
I would definitely. I'm still staying because, well, I have the map telling me where I need to go. Galar's going back to get some info.
Oh, alright. I mean, I was just going to suggest if you wish to, you could go back to your family for a night.
Oh.
Because I can take more than just me and her.
Well, she also has her little entourage.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
many of the
Don't
entourage
don't be
are there?
forgetting the others.
There's 3 of them.
Yes. So that's 4
Can
total.
you take that many?
I
Otherwise,
can take all of them, Grim and you still.
Oh yeah, isn't it up to
I
like
wasn't
7
prepared for
people?
this.
It is up to 8 people, including myself.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'll go home for a while.
Which Grim is on that list because
Have a nice
Grim
weekend
technically is
home.
a creature.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
that'll
he
be
is.
fun.
Alright. Okay, and then Jacob is just going to pull out one of his odd vial that he keeps, and he's just gonna draw kind of onto the ground a 10-foot space, a 10-foot area to stand in,
Okay.
like a 10-foot square.
All right.
Everybody squeeze together.
I need you all to, well, we all need to get into this.
Oh, okay.
Good thing they're dwarves. They're half the size anyway.
Well, height-wise, but they're a little bit broader.
Or stocky.
Yeah.
Definitely stocky.
Jacob feels weird as if he is leading a school field trip.
How fucking dare you?
No, bravo, fucking yeah.
drop my hand.
Jacob
Drop
is
my
not
hand.
6
How
foot.
dare you?
I thought he was at least 6 feet.
Jacob was 5'9".
Yeah, Rogar's like
Ah,
6'1"
he's a
or
short
something like
dude.
that, I think.
I'm 4'6", leave me be.
I'm 6 foot on the dot. It makes
Okay.
jump calculation easy for me.
There you go.
All my characters are 6
fair.
feet.
Eurydice is 5'2".
I'm 5'5".
And so
Eurydice is small.
Hmm.
Jacob
But you're not the
is
shortest
going
anymore.
to-
No.
He's slowly going to kind of do and like while in this square, he's going to go around almost in a circle
Okay.
around everyone, and he's going to start putting in different arcane symbols in the air, and then eventually he gets to kind of like a front section where a circle had like kind of appeared in the air, kind of
Okay.
waiting for the last step,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to think and then put in the symbols of the sigil of the permanent circle that is in that town.
Okay.
And Jacob is going to cast teleport.
Nice. Okay. So you cast teleport, and poof. You, Galar, her entourage, Prim, and Razmith all find yourself now standing on top of this you estimate about a 15-foot diameter circle in a torchlit chamber that seems to have a dome shape to it with a stone door against one wall.
I probably should have said something before.
And two guards are standing, one on either side of the door, holding these big spears. And as soon as you pop in, you instantly see them, like, looks of surprise on their face, and they rush forward, and you have spears pointed towards you, and you hear a bell ringing somewhere nearby. Dong,
Okay, cool.
dong, dong.
So,
Does this sound familiar to me at all?
Please?
Yeah, you kind of remember that. Well, teleportation circles into the center of cities, like, well, my home city. I've used them before, and yeah, they kind of like to know that you're coming. They don't like surprises.
Well, thank God my brother's on the guard, but I hope he doesn't take it too personal.
You guys handle it? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah, do I see guards approaching at all?
Yeah, well, there's these two. They've got spears, and they're probably, those spears are now, those guards, two guards, are standing probably about 6 feet away from you, with their spears extended, and with the tips of the spears are within a foot of you guys, and they're just kind of pointing them at you. And one of them says in Dwarvish, which I think you speak as well, Jacob.
Yep.
So pretty much everyone in the party that's there understands as they say, "Who are you? Where did you come from?"
Calm down, get your fucking pikes out of my face. Don't you recognize me? I'll take my hat off real slow.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
trying to make I'm gonna make a persuasion check here, because, I mean, come on,
Yep.
look at me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Roll your persuasion.
I'm gonna grab the two real fast.
Ooh, right, that was a pretty high roll. Thank God. So, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
I can't remember
Wait.
if I added anything to persuasion or not.
You're part of Clan Uri, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
For
Clannery.
What the hell? You know the rules.
So I was very, very far away. This was last second. I didn't. We didn't have enough time to plan ahead. I do apologize. I will fill out the proper paperwork. I apologize.
You better. Gonna get our asses in trouble.
I'll start doing it right now.
And they kind of both shrug, but one of them stops the other, and he's like, "What about him?" Pointing to Jacob.
He's a friend of mine. He's actually how we were able to get here.
Fine. As long as you vouch for him, I guess that's all right. And Galar pipes in, and she's like, just leans over, kind of whispers to you. "Idiot guards." Don't they know any
Well,
better?
They're technically doing their job. Can't be mad at them for that.
I've done this kind of job before. It's stupid.
Well, times have changed. How old were you when you did this last time?
Oh, God. What? That was a wee thing. Barely 75.
Yeah, okay. It's been a while, okay?
Aye.
For like 250 years?
Yeah. Something like that.
A little bit.
So they
Anyway.
they kind of relax a little bit and they back off. The bell eventually stops ringing, but the door, the stone door, opens, and a few more guards kind of rush in quickly, and the other ones just go, It's handled. Just an Uri acting like an idiot and not contacting us first.
Well, that seems mean.
Wait until you hear how many different trades and sectors of dwarf work that the Uri clan is part of.
Mm-hmm.
They're in everything.
Yep.
I'm trying to find my Google Doc sheet here.
Yeah, actually, I would like that too, because I do not have that
There's
handy.
forge masters, there's woodworkers, there's shop owners, there's guards, there's message.
They're in
transport
everything.
people,
They're
there's
the
people.
they're the
How do I
Walmart.
get to that
of-
page that you had.
They're like the Walmart. They've got everything.
Look up Google Doc.
Jacob is just going to speak in drawers. So I'm assuming everything's okay.
I believe everything will be okay. They're just a little mad. I have to go for a couple hours. I need to go fill out some paperwork.
Oh, all right.
I mean, you're allowed to tag along with me if you'd like. It's not all that fun. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm good.
I believe Galactica lead you to the house and introduce you to the family.
That I could do.
All right, here we go. I found the doc. How do I send it to
You
you?
could meet Crazy Grandpa, who
Just
used to be
send-
part of the Symptom
Just put the link in Discord, and I'll be able to get it that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm fine
not
with
tech
you.
savvy, yo. Compare. Past.
Yeah,
I
can
need to
go with them.
remember which siblings I could actually voice. Oh no.
Don't I get to voice the the youngest pyromaniac one?
Yes. You're
she's-
Sindri.
Ah, yay! I love her already.
Yep.
She's
Yeah,
the
and his-
second oldest female.
Yeah, and the twin, Gloy. Sindri and her twin.
Sindri and Gloy.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
I know. I have a lot of people on that list.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's the two twin sisters. Revna and
So
Sigrid.
you
And
ask
then the quadruplet.
you ask her to lead the way,
Mm-hmm.
which she gladly does, and you are now find yourself winding through
Part of the entourage.
yeah, you're winding through a variety of tunnels with which you get the sense that Galar is not having to stop at all and think about where she's going. She seems to, no matter how many twists and turns you take, it's like she knows exactly where she's going. As she just kind of trudging on with the entourage trailing behind and you kind of pulling up the rear. And it takes a while. After kind of trudging through a bunch of tunnels where you don't really see much difference. You know, it's all tunnels. Some of them are fairly large tunnels, but they're all tunnels with different doors, and every once in a while it'll be an open archway that you might see off to your right or left that you can kind of look through, and you'll see more tunnel or maybe a larger chamber, but you know, some activity going on there, like it's a big room, some things like that. But you, at this point, have not really seen anything more than real tunnels. You know, there doesn't seem to be any big structures or buildings. It's all just tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
Until eventually, after about an hour, hour and a half, it's hard to tell the time down here. Well, wait a minute. Except for you. You still get the time. It's an hour and 32 minutes. As you finally kind of come around one bend, and the tunnel opens up, and there is a much larger chamber. It's not enormous, but it is still quite large. You kind of just glancing about, it's surprising how well you can see and how well illuminated they have made it. As you look around, and this thing's probably a good, 100 or so feet high. And it's probably, a couple 100 feet wide and long. From what you can just kind of see of this cavern. And in the cavern, you can see, going from floor to ceiling, it seems like there are certain, some buildings that just kind of fill in here and there and everywhere. And then there's also some smaller ones, ones that are maybe only a story high or a couple stories high. But there's also these, some that go all the way up and seem to touch the ceiling. And who knows if they actually have passages that lead up through the ceiling or not, or the roof of the cave, as you would say. And you also, as you can glance about, you see that there are a couple other tunnels that are entering into this place from along the walls that you can see. So this seems to be a very, very extensive network of tunnels and caverns, and who knows how many more of these, caverns like this there are. But that is what you see as Galar leads you out into, I guess what you could call, the city streets. And begins to lead you on further in. And as you start now kind of winding between different buildings that are here, she eventually stops in front of one, and then you see her take a deep breath, like she looks back over to you and to her little entourage. She goes, away with ye! Go home! For God's sake, go visit your own families. You! This way. And she sighs.
She sighs to me?
Yeah, well, she says this way, and then she just kind of sighs in general. As she turns towards the door, and she knocks loudly. Boom, boom, boom. A few seconds later, the door opens. Okay. And coming through the door is a fairly grizzled-looking dwarf. Looks a little bit younger, you're guessing, based on what you know of dwarves, than Galar and Razmith. But, he's clearly one of their kin. And as you stare upon this dwarf, he looks at Galar and he says, "What in hell? Where have you been?" And then once again, Galar sighs, and she looks back at you, Jacob. Her eyes kind of roll up in the back of her head for just a second. She turns around, she goes, "Are you gonna let us in or not? Oh, by the way, this be Jacob. He's a good friend. Be kind to him. Jacob, this is Grid."
In Dwarvish. Nice to meet you, Grid.
Aye, Grid. He kind of nods, reaches out to shake your hand.
Jacob will extend and shake the hand.
Okay. And then he waves you both in and kind of offers you a seat and says, "I'll go get us drinks. I expect to know where the hell you've been. There's a story here." And he turns around and goes into the kitchen. All right. So, Razmith, what are you doing?
Well, I was going back. Well, after filling out all that paperwork, I'm gonna head back onto the to the house. That'll probably take me a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and make my way back to the house as quick as possible.
Okay.
As quick as my Lamborghinis let me.
Okay.
I just read the stuff for him, and I forgot the kinds of items you put in the description for things he's arrested and or collected as contraband.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what I put. What was it?
Well, there's one of the descriptions is a chair with a weird peg in the center, followed by yes, that's what was in the report.
Cops find some weird shit, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Which, speaking of which,
double that number of arrests.
yeah, speaking of which, Jacob, you, as you kind of look around the room, there's some strange shit on the shelves and on the wall and sitting in corners here and there. I mean, odd stuff. One of which is next to you, there is a chair with just like some weird peg spike sticking up from it.
I'm not gonna question it. And he's just kind of speaking in his brain.
Okay.
They tend to call that exotic.
And after a few moments, hey Jeremiah.
Yes. What can I do? You need something?
Quick aside before going into what he's going to say to Jeremiah. I do not remember. I'm pretty sure Razmith had said something about his family and stuff like that in terms of the Serpent Viper already, or
Jacob would remember that. Yes, he did.
okay. Just making sure.
A 600-year-old dwarf.
Hey
He's
Jeremiah,
pretty crusty.
you know the Uri family by any chance?
Uri. Dwarves, yes?
Yes, they are.
That sounds familiar. I think I knew an Uri once. Yes, I think I did.
Well,
I cannot remember his name. Nor anything else about him. But I do remember Uri. He was Uri. That's all. That's all I remember. And you get that sense of frustration again coming from him.
right, well, we may be able to talk to some in a bit.
That would be good, I suppose. Maybe
Jake's
that
gonna
would
test
spark the
something real
memory.
fast. Jake's gonna test something real fast.
Okay.
Is Galar still in the room?
Yeah, she's sitting down in a chair a little ways away from you.
Jacob is just going to say aloud in the language of the ancients. Galar, could you pass me your weapon? To see if there's any type of reaction to him even speaking it.
You say these words, and she looks over towards you. She kind of looks at you funny. It's like, did you say something? What was that gibberish?
And then in Dwarvish. Sorry, nothing important. I was just testing something.
Humans.
Humans.
All right.
An entire kingdom for people.
So, Razmith, what else were you doing?
As I was trying to make my way home. I was trying to see if I would bump into any of my siblings, honestly.
I mean, they're fucking everywhere, so...
They are.
Your dad's literally one of, like, the main people in charge politically for the damn city, so...
Mm-hmm. Which, out of character, out of game,
Yep.
you would realize why some of the other non-Clan Yuri dwarves may make comments like, you know, damn Yuri or whatever like that, because, well, you got political power and all that, you know, they got something to envy or want that somebody else has, and so maybe there's, you know, fucking Yuris are everywhere, rah, you know.
Just bitching.
Yeah, basically. Just bitching to bitch about something.
Yeah, that
So.
sounds about right. Honestly, I want to make my way home. That way I can get back with the others, and then
Where's
I'll
your grandpa?
probably try to see my family. It's kind of
Okay.
spread throughout the city.
Okay. All right, so while you are starting to do that, gonna hop back to Rogar for a second. So you spawned in your Pegasus with your spell,
Yeah.
and now what are you doing?
Yeah, I was just gonna go hear the words of Lady Redstone.
Okay. That's right. So you head over there, and are you going to attempt to give her like a little inquisition? I mean, are you going to question her, or just what is your plan?
I'll head in and just, you know, yeah, I guess it'd be more of an inquisition. Like, I'll start asking questions, and then, like, I have Zone of Truth prepared, so, you know, if it's not going in my favor, I'll have to pop it.
Okay. So what are you asking her?
I guess the most important question right now is, why were you working with the previous queen?
I have known Crystal for years. Why would I not work with a business partner?
She's fucking insane.
That all checks out there. Put a little check mark. What? I know the people that I travel with stole something from you.
Yes. And I deserve my property back. They transgressed me first. All I did was attempt to retrieve it through legal means.
Is
Except you
Eurydice
tried to
nearby
kill
at
us.
this point? Because I really have
No.
something to say to her if she's...
No, you are still in process of searching through the entire place because, you know, this would have been happening while you were out searching till 2 in the afternoon.
How gross about this?
Hey, this is what happens when you kind of split up to do your own things.
I know.
You know? If you all stick together, I can include all of you. If you split up, then that's what happens.
Look, I didn't plan ahead this time.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
I planned, but I didn't expect Diana to be sleeping for forever.
Which, speaking of which, I sent you a message there,
And
Diana.
then was forced to be stuck as a fox. What do you expect?
Maybe to be awake for maybe like 2 hours or something.
No.
Can we have like a brief moment?
My body got possessed by like a literal god, guys. Like, I'm asleep. Fuck all of you.
My God.
I'll figure shit out when I wake the fuck up.
But yeah,
I did send you a message, by the way, Diana.
I replied.
Oh, okay, I see it now. It didn't pop up. I don't know why. Alright.
I mean, if you want to change it, feel free.
Okay.
Yeah. Rogar asked like what they supposedly stole.
Okay. And she says, my property. Exactly what it is none of your business.
This isn't gonna go well in court for you then.
Lady Redstone, by all means, I feel as if I am the only person that is holding you alive, so maybe don't burn your last bridge. I'm just trying to find the information that I need to possibly keep you alive after the trial.
Right. She kind of pouts for a little bit, stares at you, and then says, fine, so I take it you are representing me as counsel.
No. I'm just getting information.
Would Rogar say yes?
Find out next week!
He
No.
lies about everything.
Yeah. In a sense, I am more or less trying to fully understand, because they want to kill you. They don't really want a trial. I'm going more for the trial. You technically do need someone to represent you.
Well,
but at the same time,
then I ask one more time. Are you my counsel, or will someone else be representing me, or must I represent myself? For my decisions on what information I choose to give out will be based on your answer.
I've seen Law and Order plenty of times. It never works out for them.
No. Especially because she can't use magic to charm anyone into thinking or feeling how she wants them to, so...
That doesn't mean she isn't very persuasive without magic either, though.
Fucking try me, bitch.
I don't know, like... Rogar does want the information.
You could also just zone of truther.
Yeah, but Rogar fully understands that spell is so easy to skate around. You just avoid answering the question. As long as you're telling some sort of truth, it doesn't matter. That's not like compel. I should have prepped suggestion instead of zone of truth. Oh God, I do not want to represent you. I don't know you.
How high is your persuasion?
It's pretty high. For +10.
I mean, you could always try that route.
Yeah, but it's like Rogar is just, just beginning to like slowly etch his way back to being lawful. He's like, damn, you can't just.
I will admit, the only thing Rogar knows about this chick is she's had Diana kidnapped, almost got Diana killed, worked with Diana's mother to enslave and destroy an entire kingdom, and then try to kill them. Yeah, we stole something. Everything else she's done is so much worse.
Yeah, I feel, Rogar, because my Pegasus follows me around everywhere. Yeah, I'll leave this to my newfound friend. As I like mental link with it, Arwen, you're a neutral party in this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, boss. What do you need me to be neutral about?
He's not gonna give you a real answer.
Should I? You know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna send up a quick prayer. I'll look to Lady Redstone. I'm gonna pray on this really quick. Just halt for one moment. Yeah, I'm just gonna test the vibes of the air.
Okay.
As I send up a quick prayer. Yeah, I'll do like a Tenebris. This person who stands before me, do they truly deserve I don't want to ask the killer. Do they truly deserve a member of your church to represent them?
Okay. Now, is this in the form of a spell, or are you just praying?
Do I have any spells that could help me in this sense? I don't think
know.
so. I should have been a cleeric.
You should have been a cleric.
Wait, what type of actions can I do? That's not
I have to
helpful.
look and see.
That's not helpful. Nope, it's just a prayer.
Okay. I also give me a wisdom check.
Could you always add like your channel divinity to
Well,
it?
no, give me a wisdom check.
Oh god, this is the worst thing for me. I guess intelligence. No, dexterity is even worse.
Wisdom's way worse. I mean, no dexterity, no intelligence. Oh shit, they're all low.
I have a lot of worse. Yeah. So yeah, 12 plus 1, 13.
13. Okay.
Rogar was built for one thing and one thing only.
Just built to kill people.
Cool.
You pray and pray and pray.
Let's hoping for a
You're
religion
not
check.
really sure. You don't seem to be getting any clear answer. You kind of feel Tenebris's presence, like, yeah, I think my prayers were heard, but there's no answer.
This bitch, so she's like, nah, fam, I don't care. I'm not
I
telling you.
ain't get my hands dirty. Fuck you. So you're not sure.
She's on Eurydice, you decide.
This bitch, you want an answer for this bitch? Nah.
Cut off her hand and give it to her.
There's your knuckle bones back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what do you do?
Oh, fuck. My deity. Just a loose version of, okay.
Silence is generally a no. You
Alright,
ever
well-
ask your mom if you can go hang out with your friends and she just gives you that silent dead stare? That's a no. Your answer is no.
Go ahead. What are you thinking there, Rogar?
I will look to Lady Redstone and say, as one of the people that you try to murder, I personally do not think it's best if you use me as your councilman, but I think it is best for you to be as honest as possible to me, as I could possibly sway certain people.
Give me a persuasion check.
17 plus 10, 27.
Wow.
Plus
Freaking wow, I will say. So, hold on.
I would kill you.
Okay.
That's bad.
So, yeah, she looks at you for a moment, kind of, furrows her brow as she seems to be kind of studying your expressions. And she says, "Fine. From me, they stole the knuckle bones of Saint Aurelius, something which I had procured through means which, of course, were legal, as far as my understanding
You don't need to
is.
specify that.
Which, of course, you're not there, so shush. Which, of course, were legal, as far as I understand. Second, they also stole a very, very important stone tablet from me. This tablet had writing on it, ancient writing. Now, in my defense, the offenders were pursued through legal means, properly hired and acquired bounty hunters. Those bounty hunters, doing their job, did apprehend one of the targets in an attempt to coerce the other to come in and face justice. For which, of course, they would have been brought before a jury and faced a proper trial. One that's fair and impartial, in which my property was rightfully returned, and they would have received whatever sentence was justified by a jury of their peers. Now, when they escaped and attacked the bounty hunters that were legally acquired through proper means, at that point a target was painted on their heads and was placed as, by any means necessary, they should be brought to justice, i.e., dead or alive. Upon finally tracking them to this continent and meeting up with my business partner, which they slew, I thought it in my best interest and for the safety of myself and others that we do not attempt to take such dangerous criminals alive, but instead slay them and return them to the halls of justice to posthumously receive their sentences, so to speak. All of which is legal and binding. I did my part in accordance with the law, and I did not break one word of my own.
The only issue that I hear with that is they did not kill your business partner until after you and your business partner made the move.
And they came into the castle, yourself included, with those companions.
Yes.
Where information had been gathered, hearing of a coup against my business partner, one that would seek her blood, hence a threat upon her life. Actions were taken to prevent such things, and then you intruded upon the castle, which was properly secured by
I'm sending you a
guards.
message.
God, I wish I was there right now.
No,
So the first move was made by you and your companions to intrude upon the sanctity of my business partner, Her Highness, Crystal, her home, in an attempt to overthrow her, as opposed to going through legal channels, which would have been the right thing to do. Such as a threat upon her life, and as a close friend of hers, and one who is also attempting to seek justice against dangerous, obviously dangerous criminals who would break into places, steal things, break into throne rooms, assassinate royalty in attempts to take over, I thought it best to be on the offensive, end the threat, and therefore protect my own life and any other lives, such that justice could be served and this threat against good, honest, decent, law-abiding citizens was stopped.
I guess another question for you. Because you are going to seek. I mean, you're not seeking. You are being tried. I mean,
This I do understand.
yes.
However, I do not agree with it, as I was the one transgressed and not the transgressor.
That's definitely fine. It's just, I hate to say it, history's, written by victors, not the losers.
And so I see I shall find myself a martyr, is it? I suppose I shall. I suppose, at the very least, I can ask for pen and paper so that I might write my husband and my wayward son a last goodbye.
No, I honestly. Yeah, that is, I do. Brogar is really contemplating things. No, yeah, I could help with that, of course. I mean, your family should know. While I personally do not think your death is needed, we should, if you are found sadly guilty of your charges, which looks, sadly to say, pretty much in the other people's favor. Did you yourself partake in any imprisonment, torturing, anything that could be viewed in a negative light to the people of this nation? Can it be viewed in the negative light to the people of the nation?
What exactly do you mean? The only people I even attempted to harm were those that stormed this castle in an attempt to assassinate my friend and business partner.
So, did you know of the jails that were being used?
What jails are you talking of? The one I am in now?
No, the ones down south. Can I insight check that?
Yeah, go ahead, roll it.
Can Foxo sneak in and insight check that?
Hold on. I told you, I will tell you when you can come in.
Your British is upstairs, and you just hear
No one's watching.
25. Yeah, 25.
25.
That's 19 plus 6, right?
Yep, that is 19 plus 6.
Okay.
And just checking one thing real quick, just to make sure I know it. Okay. Good to know. Okay. So, I just sent you a message there, Rogar. So, Eurydice.
Yes.
I'm not going to make you roll perception for this.
Okay.
You see a door that's, close to a room that you are currently kind of searching through. One of the doors, like, just across the hall. You kind of hear something and you look over and you see the the handle, which is more of like one of those lever doorknob handles.
Yeah.
It's kind of bouncing a little bit. It bep, 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 and then finally it kind of goes down a little further, and the door unlatches, and then just kind of slowly swings open. And then you see this little fox kind of nudge the door open and slip past it.
Eurydice will go up to the fox, and she's like, Diana, do you want some help getting to someplace?
Does Eurydice have anything red on her body?
The blood of her enemies.
Probably some of O'Brien's blood.
Is Orion with you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have anything red?
He's bleeding.
He probably also has something red if you ask it to, if you make him search. You know, he might have something like in a
Here's the
red
problem. She's
handkerchief.
trying to be careful about when she uses the speech. She's gonna like slip back into the room she woke up in and grab like a random either red sheet or red shirt or something red.
Okay, you find like on the table that has the wash basin, you can see up there. You can hop on a chair that's next to it and get up onto there. There is like a face cloth that is, you know, for when you're washing up at the wash basin, and it is red. So you can grab that.
Can I make?
I would hope Eurydice understands my Foxo charades at this point with how long we've been friends. She's gonna come out and set the red cloth down, and then touch the cloth, and then touch the stone floor.
Does Eurydice understand?
Intelligence check.
15.
Oh, you get, yeah, more than enough. You needed a 10.
Okay, cool.
Red stone.
Eurydice will,
Oh, okay.
Pick up Foxo, and she'll turn to Orion and be like, keep looking for shit. And she'll go to the place Redstone is being held.
Okay. So, Rogar, while you're down there, you got the message I sent you, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for her?
Yes. One of the other questions that hit me that I needed to know an answer to. Can you yourself read the stone tablet?
Well, to be honest, no. I needed more time with it.
So you have a way to learn it, though.
I don't see why this is relevant.
The stone tablet that you speak of, if I'm thinking of the same stone tablet,
I can describe it to a T exactly what it looks like. However, I cannot read the runes on it.
Does she know what it was for?
Worker doesn't care about that. I was like, I got personal gain in this. It's the only reason why I'm asking is because one of the people that we travel with who cured this item is slowly but surely being able to read it, and it would be personal investment for me to be able to read it much quicker.
As you say, one of you in the party is learning and has been able to read some of it. Her eyes kind of widen a little bit, and she goes, "Really? One of you can read it?"
Yeah.
Interesting.
From what I understand, they have given me bits and pieces.
And which one would this be?
Oh, tell her. If you do, give her the wrong person.
That is...
You're not there yet.
That is. If I give you their name, what do I get out of it? It seems more like a loss because if you get to live.
Are you asking
then
this
you
out
know
loud,
you-
or are you just thinking
Yeah.
this? Okay. What is it you want out of it? It was merely a question. I am just curious.
It's a good question. What do I want out of all of this? Why? Yeah, why am I helping you? No, answer me this. How would you feel if you were never able to cast magic again?
Are you suggesting that my punishment would be to have my ability to weave the arcane forces removed? And how would you like your faith sucked from your soul? What kind of a question would that be?
I mean, what if that is the only way that we could protect you, in a sense? What, you're from... Where are you from, by the way?
That's true, Rogue. That's no
Hold on. Let me pull
Yeah,
up. Let me pull up the
Even
maps.
character.
Let me pull up the map again.
Isn't she from Oceanica?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Yeah, I think it was Oceanica.
Yes, I was gonna put the map up on the stream just to have it up, but yes, she is from.
We just do some cool
It is the
energy
city
bending
of
with the magic and-
Oceanica.
And what continent, or what country does that belong to?
Oceanica is part of Arkspire.
Oxford. Oh, so you probably don't know the right of confiscation. I just made that up. But I DM'd the DM about it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll ask about it really quick if she's ever heard of the right of confiscation.
No, I
Us
have
religious
not.
folks believe in. Oh. Well, there's many of ways this could be done. I mean, the most, I hate to say it, brutal way is cutting out your voice box. You know, skilled hands are able to do that. That'll pretty much, you know, deter you from some magic casting. Another one which I've seen done many of times, and I prefer myself to be honest, is subjugating the person to enfeeblement or enfeeble mind. Sorry, I forgot the name of the spell.
Her eyes
Enfeeble.
go. No, it's feeble mind.
There you go, feeble mind.
Her eyes go wide when you mention that, and she goes. So what you are saying is, no matter what, my choices are live without magic, which I have studied my entire life in order to achieve, have my brain reduced to mush, or be killed. Well, sure sounds like justice to me.
I'm sure the Church of Saloon has other methods.
Other methods, like maybe even for one moment entertaining the fact that I may be innocent, and simply following the laws and attempting to get what is rightfully mine back.
No,
Did that ever not, enter your mind?
Oh, no. I do believe on some level you could be innocent.
And as you say that, the door to the cell opens as Eurydice and a fox walk in.
Yo.
And
Now she will trigger her universal speech.
you hear that last phrase of Rogar's.
So, why are you saying she's innocent when she's obviously not?
Because to a certain degree, depending on how this conversation goes, he might actually be right.
And who are you allowing to hear your speech?
Those three.
So that means Lady Redstone as well.
Is Moraine within 60 feet of us?
Yeah, they're just outside the door.
Then she would let Moraine hear as well.
Mm-hmm. So she hears what you say, and she's heard what the others have said. She is just kind of standing guard. She doesn't seem to be interfering. Doesn't seem to be making any kind of moves or notions. She is just kind of standing guard outside. But she did. You're pretty sure she heard you because since you allowed her to understand your speech.
Diana will hop out of Eurydice's hold and sit in front of where Redstone is. I assume she can still see me?
Yes.
Okay. And Diana will look at Redstone for a moment and then turn to Rogar and ask him, does she know what my mother has done?
I don't think she has.
No, she has not. She, I hate to say it, in a sense, was just following her own.
Can I explain what the
personal
prisons?
sense.
Can I explain what the prisons are like?
Yeah, let me get there.
Okay.
Lady Redstone,
You may call
do you know...
Considering the situation, my title is not necessary. You may call me Gloria.
Oh.
Gloria Redstone.
I will address you as your name once I know whether or not I can trust what you tell me. Until then, I will maintain your honorifics.
Very well, then, if that is to be the way, what shall I address you as?
Her Majesty.
No. I'm not my mother. I am one of my people. I am not above nor beneath them.
You're above her, though.
Despite...
And she looks
Despite
at
how
you
my
as you
mother
say
acts.
that, just for a moment, a little bit of disgust in her eyes at you saying that.
At Eurydice saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Lady Redstone, do you know how my mother became queen?
No. She is. Since I have known her, she has been queen. I have known her quite a long
And
time.
what if
These
I
past
told
7
you-
years.
And what if I told you the woman you deem whatever you think she is came into power illegally, and everything that she was all a lie?
I find that hard to believe. I've known her for 7 years. I don't think she could
And I've
hide
known
such
her
things
since I
from
was
me.
born. Do you know why I wasn't in my kingdom anymore?
She looks to you for a second. This is the first time she has seen Diana in her fox form.
Which automatically proves I am the rightful heir.
But, at the same time, she doesn't know about any of that.
Yeah.
And for a sec, as she's looking, she's going, now, I have seen and studied a great many things, so a talking fox does not surprise me. But am I to assume you are the one who stole from me and disrupted my party?
Yes, she is. And she's also the rightful heir to the throne.
Eurydice.
Eurydice, you really bring it down 4 levels at least.
I
Never.
appreciate it, but give me a moment, please.
You guys get to play good cop. I get to play bad cop.
Okay, and
Right now,
And
I'm
Gloria,
neutral.
Gloria looks at you, Diana, for a second, and it's like she's studying you for a second. She goes, go on.
Oh,
Give me-
real
give me-
quick before Diana
yes.
speaks,
Go ahead.
you will open up his palm and
feed her
how
some
about
kibble.
this? Here, eat. How about this? For 10 minutes, we only speak the truth. I will zone of truth this room.
I can double zone of truth.
I was just gonna ask for everyone to willingly give
And
in to the effect.
Verain says, I can triple it. No, just...
Diana
joking.
will look to Redstone and go, I will
agree.
Yeah, Diana will look to Lady Redstone and go, I agree to those terms because, well, yes, I took your property. You need to know the entirety of it.
And then
So if you're willing to as well,
she looks at
I
you.
will let him cast the spell.
She looks at you
Yours as
for
well.
a few moments longer. Again, kind of studying your expression as much as one can understand the expression of an animal that is not a human.
Face naturally,
Yes.
so she actually has like a
Yes.
very somber and understanding. Like she feels bad for taking the shit, but she wants Redstone to know the truth.
Yeah, and she's studying your face for a few moments. And I need an insight check from you.
Okay.
And as usual, you have advantage on that, so don't forget that.
However, because of the exhaustion from the necklace, it is base.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We'll go with that.
Eurydice is inciting Redstone as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Jacob is thinking about what he's about to eat as a
Hey,
dwarven
Jason.
meal.
Yes?
Can I just say, next time you talk to your friends, can you thank them for giving me this dice?
Did you get another natural 20?
No, I got a 31.
Oh.
I got a
You mean
20.
I got you the dice. They just happen to sell them.
Well, either way, these are the most lucky goddamn things
I
I've
know.
ever fucking owned.
I know. I want to go to your house and steal your dice for my own and give you a different set because I want that set.
No, if not, I'll just go over there and contaminate it next
Yes.
time.
Jacob, your mission, should you choose to accept it. No.
But no, I got a 31.
Jeez. Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So, since I don't want to type it out twice or copy paste, both of you looking at her, you see her expression soften just a bit. Like, barely perceptible, but you both catch it. And then she says, I agree to those terms.
And is she telling the truth? She will actually accept the spell and purposely fail it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, yeah. And that's part of casting the spell. You know if someone, resists it.
Yeah, I will place my holy symbol in my hand. I don't need it, but why not? And I say, as Tenebris wills it, this room is a room of truth. I'll cast Zone of Truth, not at a third level. Jesus, what the fuck? Second level.
Go for it.
Go! Third level!
Is it higher?
Super
Doesn't do
Zone!
anything.
I'm gonna add a upcasting level effect for Zone of Truth. It's now Super Zone.
You can really feel the magic.
You-
Like,
you
wow,
can-
he
yeah.
really is going out.
The truth is super truthful. That's all it is. It's
technically
even
it's
more
a
truthful.
sphere, so.
Yeah, even more truthful truth.
So Diana, once it's cast, will look to Redstone and go, your biggest gripe with me is that we took your tablet, yes?
My biggest
we stole
gripe,
from you.
my biggest gripe with you is that you invaded my home under false pretenses, made an absolute horrendous scene at an event I was throwing, and to top it all off, stole two things that were very expensive for me to acquire and were part of an extensive collection. One of which, the tablet, yes, is extremely important to me as I have been attempting to study it and read it and have I'm on the verge of a breakthrough, or was.
May I
And that it
ask
was
why
taken.
you wanted to study the tablet?
Because it is from the ancient past. And,
So you
well,
don't know what was on.
no. But, and
Well.
and you see for a moment, it's like she doesn't want to say anything, but then she just goes ahead and says it anyway. And she says, honestly, I'm just a history nerd.
Well, to start with, Lady Redstone, the reason we took the knuckle bones and the tablet was because we were requested to acquire them by the church.
Taylor.
What?
The Church of Palor.
She looks at both of you.
It was in Oceanica, wasn't it?
No,
It was
no. The
Oh,
church.
It was the Church of Palor and Asteron because we had given them the rock that Dalian had.
Yeah. So Diana will mention, we were requested to acquire it by the Church of Palor.
And when
By any means necessary.
and Eurydice said Palor too, and when you guys say that, she looks at both of you and she goes, "What?
Like,
What
how
the-
dare you speak that
What?
name?
Why? What? Why would the church want to steal from me?"
Well, from what I've gathered, that before I was with these guys, there was someone their things had happened and they gave something to the church in Asteron that they didn't necessarily mean to give, and they wanted to get it back. And to prove that they could protect it, they were sent to get the party was sent to get the knuckle bones of Saint Aurelius and bring them back.
But I still don't understand. They were told to steal something that I had bought in order to prove that you could take care of something else? Why would they steal? I worked so hard. I worked so hard. So hard.
Probably 'cause
To
it was
find
more fun
to find
option. That's what I would've done.
interesting. Well, I looked so hard for interesting ancient things. And when I saw that the knuckle bones were up and available, I instantly jumped on that chance.
Well, no, you're gonna see something.
Lady Gloria,
Yes. What?
as for the second portion, and I do apologize for causing a scene at the masquerade. Quite frankly, what I was trying to do, I was trying to make an ice rink to dance with my now husband. I wasn't trying to cause problems.
Insight check.
No, like that was what
I
she
know.
was doing.
I know. Insight check.
Insight check.
Okay.
For you. Roll it. Roll an insight check.
I got a nat 20.
Oh.
Plus
There it is.
whatever
Chat,
my
you know
insight
what to
is.
do. Chat, you know what to do. Do it, do it, do it, do it.
I got a 32.
Jesus, 32. Hit them nat 20 emotes, chat, to celebrate that crit. All right. So, you see, when you mention why, and what you were trying to do and why, you almost see just the barest hint of tears welling up in the back of her eyes for just a moment, and then she kind of fights it back. And she just kind of looks at you for a little bit and says, "Are you saying you were just trying to be romantic?" And she's like a little taken aback by that, by you when she asked that question to you.
I'm a hopeless romantic. And most of his life, magic was something that always hurt him. I wanted to give him something that wasn't painful.
And she then, for a second, just kind of straightens herself up and says, "I forgive you for interrupting and almost ruining my party. I still do think
Dude.
it wasn't right to
This sounds
take
like
my
a
property.
rad party. I should have been there.
I still think it wasn't right to take my property. And I would like
You're
it
right,
returned.
it wasn't. That's where things start getting complicated. Have you heard of the Blackest Heart?
Are we really gonna tell her about this?
Yes,
Oh, boy.
there's a reason I'm going here. Have you heard of the Blackest Heart?
No. I don't know what
Have you heard of
that
a group
is.
called Path?
Everyone knows of the path.
I'm a part of the path.
And if
Do you
I
say that
told
out
you
loud?
that-
Do you say that out
I
loud?
say that out loud, but then I quickly follow it with, "Don't worry, I'm a spy for my friends.
Yeah.
I am not actually a part of it."
Okay, yeah, because as soon as you say it, she looks at you and she's got like this look of horror on her face until you start saying that.
Oh, sorry, Zone of Truth, man. Oh.
Oh no,
The path is
100%.
trying. The path is trying to gather things that could disrupt and destroy everything. My group and I originally wanted to just speak to you to try and get the items. I was outvoted. Because she did. She originally wanted to try and talk to Redstone to get the tablet.
I actually
and
don't
whatnot.
remember that. I just remember heist.
Yep.
Yeah, because everybody was pushing for a heist, so she got outvoted.
Mm-hmm. Who knows what would have happened?
I do apologize for how we took them and not explaining why. But we did so because if we didn't, what could happen in the long run would destroy and kill everything. And we're trying to prevent that.
Her look for a moment hardens as she says, I may not be as old as some, but I am old enough to have heard many end-of-the-world theories, all of which prove to be false. Is that really
No, you
a
gotta-
justification for thievery of someone else's property?
We've seen it happen.
Dude,
Seen
it's
what happen?
freaking bonkers.
What happens? We've just seen a small fraction of the power of what would happen if they succeeded.
Because we may or may not have a piece of the Blackest Heart.
Okay, wow.
I
I'm
wasn't
really
expecting to
regretting
say that,
Zone of
you're
Truth.
teased.
Yeah.
Hey, you were going for truth.
What is... And you are in a zone of truth, so if you're going to speak about it, you got to say the truth when you do speak if you failed the check.
And I can't even end this shit.
Nope.
This is for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, I will circle back to this once I explain about my mother. When I
Okay.
was a child, she sold me into slavery to get rid of me. And she was hoping they would have killed me in the process. During the time I was gone, my father died, and she took the throne.
Are you
She
sure we are
imprisoned
talking about
people.
the same person?
Uh-huh.
She
She
imprisoned
is under the
people.
Zone of Truth.
She tortured them. She looked me in my eyes, crazed off of power, trying to claim that I was not her daughter when she was the one who birthed me.
Also, she was basically suppressing the people. They could not
Yeah.
They could not speak out against her, or they would be imprisoned. I know this because I was a part of the prison riot. I started it. I'm very proud of that.
I also can't
And-
worship.
Anyone who spoke out against her was put in this prison and basically just kind of left to rot. She even put her own son in there.
What? No.
Well, the
I
truth
can't
is-
lie.
It is the truth.
And she looks at you, Rogar. She goes, I know how the magic works, but it's so hard to believe that.
Yeah.
That is not the woman I knew. Or at least I
I
thought
can show
it
you
was the
proof
woman I knew.
once I turn back
No.
into my human form.
No, I know it's true. It has to be. That's how the magic works. But
She didn't
That's-
earn this throne the right way. She was a tyrant. She was oppressive. She was evil. She was insane.
and she turns around, kind of turning her back to you, to kind of all of you as you're standing there, and she kind of walks a little bit towards the wall for a little bit, and then you hear her, like, just kind of breathe heavy for a second, and then she stamps her foot, really hard a few times, and she's like, "Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!"
Yeah.
And then you hear sobbing, open sobbing, just no, no.
Eurydice.
Can.
Eurydice will
Oh.
Can I fit through the bars?
There.
Well, you're in the room. You're in the room. This is a room. You're in
Okay.
there.
Diana will go over to her and sit, like, kind of in front of / next to her.
Mm-hmm.
Eurydice is awkwardly patting Redstone's back. There.
Mage hand.
Mage handing it. I love it. Rogar, still the physical contact. Yep, mage hand it.
One of the people I really like.
My ancestor is pissed because you helped her. But
I'm pissed.
I've never been one to want to kill unnecessarily, and I've never been one to not want to find a good ending.
I am the opposite of that.
And she takes
Solar,
she
you're over there just saying that.
she takes one half step away from Eurydice as she's
Don't worry. You've proven that you're pretty much a good person, but like
and then
you still
then
helped.
you hear this whole time she's still sobbing as you're consoling her, and when you say that Eurydice, she's like, through the sobs, I'm not. I didn't see what was right in front of me. I let it happen. I can't let that happen. And just sobbing.
Okay, honey, listen to me.
Eurydice,
Honey.
Oh.
hang on, give her a moment.
Yeah, take a breather.
Yeah, take.
Let her breathe for a moment.
Does anyone have the spell Calm Emotions?
Eurydice does.
Well,
Mm.
let's.
Should I use it?
It would calm her down from the sobs.
Eurydice will just like, hey, I have calm emotions prepared. Would you like me to use that so we can get through the rest of this conversation?
And
Naturally fits this person.
and she just kind of sits there. She doesn't say anything through the sob. You see her head kind of bob up and down.
Okay, Eurydice will use calm emotions on her.
It's another area of effect spell.
And because
is.
she knew you were casting it, she would auto-fail and, like, let it happen.
And you see her kind of regain her composure after I spilled drink all over my notes. Fuck.
Oh no!
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't like a dousing. It was more of just a splatter. So it's okay. I got it somewhat cleaned up. But she kind of, the sobbing eases some. She kind of catches her breath a bit. And she lifts her head up and turns around. She says,
Take it
I'm
from
sorry.
me.
I'm so sorry.
Listen,
I am too.
take it from me, someone who's literally followed a demon as a warlock and didn't really understand why I was following them. you're not a bad person for this, okay? They were disguised. Crystal disguised her intentions very well.
I would like if you would be willing to help us now. I never wanted to make you an enemy.
And she kind of closes her eyes for a second. She takes a deep breath, again regaining more of her composure. And she just kind of looks at you, Eurydice, then Diana, then Rogar, and kind of back across. She just nods her head a little bit.
When I can turn back, because at the moment I'm not allowed to. I have a lot I need to fix and prepare. I would like to be able to say your name as an ally to help us next time than having to say your name in a trial.
And again, she nods her head, and then she says to you, well, Your Majesty,
No,
I would
so
like that.
don't call Diana Your Majesty. It's so
Nope,
weird.
you
It's
mentioned
so-
it. You mentioned
No,
it,
but
and
it's
that's what
so
she
weird
does.
now.
And that's what she
Please.
does. She says that.
I
She says,
regret
Your
my
Majesty,
choice.
I would like that.
Except here's the thing, though, that I don't know if Eurydice would pick on, and I can roll for this to see if I am right about this assumption.
Mm-hmm.
She's calling Diana Majesty now because she actually does view Diana in that stature.
No, I get it. I
Yeah.
get that. But
Oh, yeah.
it's just weird for Eurydice now.
Well,
Yeah.
good job. You created this.
Yep,
I know, and I hate it.
you're part of it, damn it.
Then what we're going to do is, now that you understand what was happening and why things were taken, when we have a moment, we will show you. Because it was much more complicated than stealing property. I didn't want to. I got overruled.
Nope.
But I would like to work with you so you can get your property back, and we can still make sure that whatever the path is doing won't succeed.
Also, we attacked the bounty hunters because you essentially stole my best friend and my essentially sister at this point.
And she kind of
so-
smirks. She kind of smirks for a second as you say that. And
Because
she's
I knew her for 2 days, and
well, she kind of smirks when you say that about that, and she says, "Not that the semantics are important, but
They were doing their job.
they were doing their job, and she was not kidnapped. She was a fugitive and was apprehended legally."
okay.
I
The
also
way we
feel
viewed
like,
it
It was
but,
done.
you know,
Diana will admit, and it's obvious she's joking at this point. She's like, I would have preferred not being knocked unconscious and then, silenced and thrown into a cell in chains, like when I was a slave.
I mean,
But
like,
I digress.
if your friend was mysteriously taken for no reason, you would find the culprit and attack them relentlessly, wouldn't you?
Yes, I suppose.
See, it's an understandable reaction.
Yeah. Even
Uh-oh.
if one I thought was my friend had an assassination attempt, against her, and people
Don't
break
think
in.
about it too hard. Don't think about it too hard.
A lot of assassinations going on in this world.
I know, it's just crazy.
It's an assassination.
All right.
So Diana
got
will
over
then
not
turn
having
to
them
Rogar and also call for Varain
Assassinated.
and go, until I'm human, forgive me if I say you still need to stay in here for now, but I believe we have an understanding that you won't leave or attack us, You will help us now?
That I will. As long as the honesty continues.
Well, if there's one thing, it's brutally honest. So.
So she just kind of...
Most of my life has been a lie. I prefer to avoid it.
I don't know what my life. I don't remember much of my life.
Really?
I need you my right hand. That's crazy.
And she looks at you, Eurydice, when you say that. She says, what do you mean by that?
Oh, the demon I was following. Well, before I met him, I died. I don't remember how. And he resurrected me as one of his followers and took all of my memories. I've only recently kind of regained some of them, but not all of them.
You were like destined to be a follower of Tenebris, I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, if I may, to solidify our newfound understanding, when I am allowed to finally leave this room, if you allow me to have, and she holds her wrists up in the manacles, my powers, perhaps I can do something for you, as she looks at you, Eurydice.
Honestly, I really appreciate it, but I have someone try that before and it didn't really, it kind of worked, it didn't really.
Diana's gonna point out that was
Did
also
they know-
while you were still bound to Fraz.
Did
No,
they
it
know Numancy?
No. Also, I kind of just want to remember them myself. I feel like it would be more natural than kind of unlocking them with magic.
Yes, that is a way of Tenebris. We should honor that.
Very well. I figured
But
I
in
would
regards
offer,
to
as
the
that is something
manacles-
of a specialty of mine.
Okay, duly noted.
In regards
if
to the manacles.
I'm desperate, I will come to you.
Vrain, I would like you to still guard her, but you can remove the manacles. This is me giving you a piece of trust to prove your words to me.
God, I will just teleport to your home.
So Vrain comes.
And-
So when you say that, Vrain looks at you. Are you sure? Is this what you want?
Diana.
If she runs or she leaves, that proves to me what I need.
Very well. And then she reaches up, puts her hands around the manacles. You hear a soft prayer to Istis, and then the manacles pop open. And as soon as they pop open, Lady Redstone kind of rubs her wrists a little bit.
Eurydice
She's
will
like,
put her hand. Like once that's happened, Eurydice will put her hand on Redstone's back and kind of grip her shoulder a little tightly. She'll say, "If you try and run, I will gut you like a fish."
Yes, sir. That's
And she looks over at you and just smiles. And as she does that, she wiggles her fingers in front of her face. And you feel magic energy build. And all of a sudden, all the dirt and grime that's on her just kind of goes away.
Prestidigitation.
And then she just smiles at you and says, I don't think I'll be testing you. But I feel much better now.
Okay, but
There's
just
so
so we're
many
on the same page.
regrets. I may have to demote her.
Hey,
I do.
Trying to bring in peace.
excuse me, sir.
Oh, and
I
Gloria,
guess, yeah.
Yes.
If you could
Thank you for actually listening to
I get
me.
to be the angry second in command.
I
Thank
guess
you
I
for
can be an
listening
angry
as well.
one.
Rogar was right. Everybody deserves a fair chance to be heard out. And that is something I forgot after I got kidnapped.
Sometimes it takes interesting life changes to learn lessons that we may have already known once before.
So, you will be brought more books to read, better meals, make sure you are actually kept comfortable while you're here. Verain will still be watching over you, so if you do try to escape or attack us, she's the first line of defense. If you prove to go against your word. And
That is understood.
once I am able to shift back, I will bring you forward to speak with me and my friends about the tablet and what we've mentioned.
Thank you.
Oh, and the tablet is, it was in Primordial, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No, it was
No,
in the
it
language of
wasn't
the
ancient.
ancients.
Okay.
Whole made up one.
Diana will pause and go, and about the tablet,
Yes.
the person you owe to be able to read it was the one you also ruined the moment for.
Oh no.
Ouch.
I mean, tell the truth, you guys. You know,
Ouch!
It's not harsh zone of truth.
Yeah, come on!
Brutal. Zone of truth.
Brutal zone of truth.
What that puts in, and she's also going to add in, it's also the person whose wife you had kidnapped. So his disposition about you is probably going to be much different than mine.
Well, I guess I shall just have to be honest and hope for the best.
And I will try to keep him as much in line as I can.
Thank you.
Yeah, I as well. I'm pretty skilled at, I guess, protection detail as well.
Alright.
How to protect
Well,
this
me and
one. I
Jacob
point to
together.
Eurydice.
Put
So,
me and Jacob
Diana-
together, we will destroy it. It'll be fine.
So Diana's gonna turn to Rogar and go, so are you coming with
We'll
me?
kill each other.
Am I what?
Happened in the past
Are
already,
you coming
right?
with me? And she's gonna gesture towards the door with her head.
Oh, yeah. I have all the information that I need.
Yeah, you're in Cecil good.
And I will pass it along to the other church.
Okay. So, Razmith.
Wait.
Yes. Nope.
That wasn't necessarily done.
Yes,
Oh,
Eurydice.
go back there
Okay, Eurydice.
Well, Eurydice is assuming that Diana wants to go back to her room because she's exhausted.
Okay.
Eurydice will take her back to the room, and then
I was gonna talk to Rogar for a bit.
then okay, Razmith, I guess.
All
I
right.
figured that's why we were asked us to come with.
So, Razmith.
Yes.
So you get done with all your wonderful paperwork that you have to do
this is so much fun.
because you neglected to just like send a message ahead of time to tell people, hey, expect this group coming in because
Well,
we're
it was
coming in.
last minute, okay. I didn't really know.
So you finish your paperwork. It takes a little while. Where are you heading now? Are you heading back to where you think Galar would have gone? Are you heading to one of...
I was heading back to the house because that's where I had asked her to do. Take him to the home.
Okay. So you start heading back there, and are you hurrying, or are you just going? And
I'm definitely moving at a quick pace, but I'm not running.
okay, so
You know, I'm just brisk walking.
kind of brisk walk, power walking. So you
Yeah.
kind of make your way, and well, I mean, you grew up here. You know all the shortcuts. It doesn't take you that hour and 32 minutes just to get to that city area. It only takes you about an hour and 15, and then you finally, kind of get there. Taking those little shortcuts, and then a little bit longer as you wind through some of the streets, and there you are, standing in front of the door to your childhood home. The family home.
All right.
Which I feel is ginormous with how many fucking kids they have.
Oh yeah, it's not. This is not a small house. This is. I mean,
It's
you
a house
can't.
within a house.
Yeah, you can't quite tell because it's actually kind of a large building. It's hard to tell, like, if someone outside observing, if this entire thing is one family home or if this is like several levels of different things or what. But it's big. So.
Duplex, who knows?
Knocking on the heavy door to see if anybody will answer.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, you and Galar hear a knock at the door. And as soon as there's a knock at the door, Galar kind of gets up from where she was kind of lounging back in one of the chairs, just resting. And this is, by this time, she's kind of just chilling. She's got a mug of ale sitting next to her on a little kind of side table that she's been sipping away at. She also has a sandwich that was brought out that Grid brought out sandwiches for you guys as well as some ale. And you kind of sat down and Galar kind of went through the tale of everything that she had been through with Razmith and her little followers kind of when they left, all the way up until the point where they met you guys. And then she kind of continued on through that about your adventures together up until the point of taking over Diana's kingdom. And by that time, that's when you hear this knock on the door. And Grid is sitting down in a chair kind of across from you guys. He's been listening to this story the whole time. Galar has been kind of munching on her sandwich, sipping her drink, meanwhile telling the story. And you've got a sandwich and a drink as well. That what you do with them is your choice. But that's when you hear a knock on the door. And Galar immediately, mid-sentence, looks over, jumps up, runs to the door, wings it open, and Razmith, there you see Galar standing in front of you, and Jacob sitting down in a chair that is clearly too small for him. And your brother Grid sitting down opposite.
As I walk in, I look at Jacob and do you want me to try and make you a bigger stool to sit in?
I was more kind of doing this out of hospitality reasons, but you don't need to worry about it. Jacob will stand up and he's going to use his minor conjuration.
Alright.
And he's going to make himself a chair.
Yeah, because that definitely does not look comfortable.
Yeah, it's awkward. It was an
It's
awkward.
a little better. It's basically he just kind of makes himself a 3x3 box.
And sits on that.
Yep.
Alright, that'll work. Okay.
Alright, and it's just
making it
Grid and Galar in the
luxurious
room
and
currently,
comfy.
right?
It is currently just Grid, Galar, Jacob, and yourself, yes. And Grim.
Have you seen anybody else?
And
This is all there is. No offense, Grid, but
and Grid says, "None taken, brother." And Galar says,
also your guards spot on with their training. They were kind of mad that I didn't give them a heads up.
and
Honestly, I would say
Grid
it wouldn't
goes,
be the only time I've been
Yeah.
skewed by a spike, but
Say
Grid goes, were they stone hewers or were they rubble finds?
Oh man, I didn't even check.
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Am I intelligent?
am I intelligent?
17?
17. Okay, yeah. You grew up in this city. And one thing that dwarves know other dwarven clans. You can tell by looking at someone, looking at another dwarf, just their general features, the general kind of traits of that clan are very prevalent in the eyes of a dwarf. To someone who hasn't particularly lived in that society or studied that, they might not be able to pick those things out. But you, yeah, those are rubble finds.
Rebel finds, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can easily tell if it's a clan that you know of, you know their traits.
Okay. I'll tell him to the rebel finds. I went and filled out all the proper paperwork. Should be cleared up.
That sounds good. Glad they did their job. Kept you honest. I'll have to put in a good recommendation for them. Think I knew who they may be.
Very, very quickly, so
Good.
I commend them for that.
Good.
Actually, have you seen Grandpa around? Or Grandma? No, just Grandpa. Grandma died. Just forgot about that.
You forgot your grandmother died? Oh my goodness, what kind of Uri are you? No.
Long week, apparently.
Yeah. And which, I mean, Grid is a younger version of Jotty. He's like the spitting image of him, except younger.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Grandpa's not been around in a while. He's, last I saw, he said something about some vacation or some crap. I think he wanted to go and check out some new mines and then relax for a while and visit the underground springs, I think. And then I think he was planning on coming back, but that was 2 weeks.
Go by himself.
Oh no. You think I'd let that old Dodger go by himself? No.
Oh, thank God.
No. He took Gloin and Sindri with him, and also the quadruplets.
Oh, okay. At least he's got everybody with him.
Well,
I thought that mad fool gone alone.
Oh no. You think I'd allow that? No. Hell, I mean, you think Revna and Sigrid would allow that? No way.
I certainly hope not.
You know how much Revna loves him.
I feel like he's in safe hands.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
You worried me. Oof.
Sorry. Didn't mean to. But I'll tell you one thing. Well, Ma ain't too pleased with you.
Why?
How long have you two been gone? She hasn't heard from you in ages.
Oh my God, you people need to use your stones. I gave every single one of you one.
The fucking stones. Fuck the damn stones. Why don't you use regular messengers like everybody? Wouldn't hurt you to write something down for once.
I'm gonna write something down on you.
Oh, don't start that shit again.
Jacob just quietly is sitting awkwardly.
And you can see there is obviously between Razmith and Grid, this is like a ongoing banter thing between them where you can't tell if they're about to punch the shit out of each other or like punch the shit out of each other. Like, is this a real kind of argument, or is this something where they're just, these are brothers that they fuck with each other? You're kind of leaning towards the latter.
He's just kind of sitting there, and he's just a small bit of him goes, family.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. That hurts.
Well, don't worry, you'll have a family soon too.
Mm-hmm.
Razmith is going to take a pause for a moment and just take a nice deep breath.
Okay.
Have you seen Frody around?
I.
Or did he
but
go with Grandpa?
no. He's spending all of his time in his lab.
Right. Jacob
Barely
actually-
comes
The
out.
lady that arrested him, she's dead, by the way.
You're not there.
Yeah, I get to
But-
tell him that news.
Yeah, but no, he barely come out. Whole time. Keeps yelling about, send his food up and all that. Got poor Ma just running here and there, making sure he's fed and what. I mean, he's like he's a kid again. Doesn't know how to take care of himself. He's just in there doing God knows what.
Right. And where's Mom right now?
Oh, she went down to the shops.
Right. Alright, well,
Should be back before supper.
okay. Then I will not have to go searching for her. I guess I'm gonna go pester Frody. See what's wrong with this child.
What's wrong with any... just 'cause you're older, don't make you right all the time. And he kind of looks at you, and there's a grin on his face. He says, when you get back, we'll be having some words. And he holds his fists up. He's like, ah?
Razmith just kind of looks at him pretty plainly. He's like, are you asking to go right now?
He's like, you still got some spark in you, don't you? I bet I can take you this time. I can do it. You ain't that much stronger than me. Come on.
Alright, fuck it.
Jacob's just utterly confused.
Right, let's go in the back where the open area is at.
All right. So you go and start tussling with your brother?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, and we're going to do a contest.
Okay.
And this is just going to be... Well, how are you going to handle this? Are you going to physically, just, wrestle with him? Or are you going to try to use any of your, little abilities or tricks? I mean, what is your tactic?
We're gonna have a building competition.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you did not challenge a dwarf to a building competition.
So, when you get out to the... when you get out to the back area, so he stands there across from you, kind of in this open space, and he's shaking out his arms, he's got his hands up, and he's looking like he's ready to rumble. And you pull out a hammer and your tools, and you tell him that, all right, let's see who can build best. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And he stops for a second and he says, building? You want to build?
Did you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about like when we were younger and you used to try to kick my ass all the time. But of course, I'm bigger now. I ain't a young pup.
How hard is it to throw an improvised weapon?
You just don't add your proficiency bonus. So you would roll, since you're throwing, you would roll 1d20 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay.
Are you just gonna throw the hammer at him?
Alright, so 17.
Okay. So you wing your hammer at him out of your hand then. And it smacks...
I'm gonna aim right at his knee.
Okay. It goes and it catches him right in the knee. And it clangs off his knee. And he grabs it, he goes, ah! And then he looks up at you and he goes, Gurren! My turn! And he jumps at you. I need you to roll an opposed athletics check.
Okay. Oh. Opposed athletics. Where's that thing at?
So you're just gonna 1d20 plus your athletics.
Okay. So 15.
Okay. So as he jumps at you, You attempt to kind of catch him and move him away, but he's not lying. He's gotten a bit stronger since last you saw him. I mean, either he's been working out or growing. I mean, he's definitely come into his own. As you try to kind of throw him off, he manages to twist you and actually kind of drop one of your legs out from under you, and now has you kind of at an awkward position, leaning over to the side. And he's...
Isn't this the one who's the captain of the guard?
Yep.
It is.
Yep. And he smiles at you and he says, I got you now, brother. Now what do you do?
Okay, I'm bent down in a like.
You're kind of like catching yourself with one of your legs, but you're kind of bent backwards at a weird angle. Your arms are grasping each other, his arms, and you kind of trying to wrestle with each other, but he's got you at a weird angle. So it's really awkward for you.
Okay. I am going to attempt to swing the leg that is bracing me up, and I'm going to grab the full weight of his arm, and I'm going to pretty much try and put him in an arm lock.
Okay. So that will be another, since you're doing that, that is another opposed athletics.
Okay. All right, what about a nat 20 for that one?
Oh, nat 20, chat. You know what that means. Give it up. Give it up, nat 20. I want to see those emotes. Nat 20s. All right, so yeah, he did not roll that high.
Okay, thank God.
As you, from your position, manage to take an awkward stance, swing out of it, and even with, basically you had penalty. I applied some negatives to you, but with your total, not a problem.
Well, it would have been a 24 in total.
Yeah, I figured, but nat 20 was high enough. He rolled shit. So even with penalties that I applied to you for being in an awkward position, you still kicked his ass. As you manage to like swing yourself around, grab his arm, twist it behind his back, and you've got him in an arm bar. And he kind of is looking over his shoulder at you, and look of a little bit of surprise and respect.
He just sees a big shit-eating grin across his face.
Oh, yeah. And he then attempts to backstep and catch your foot with his back leg and use that to trip you and fall backwards on top of you. So, another opposed athletics check, if you will.
Okie dokie. 16 for that one.
Ooh. That was close. That was close. And if you hadn't had him at a penalty because of the position you put him in with such a massive difference in your rolls, he would have won. However, it's a tie. As you both end up tripping, he manages to get that part right. But instead of him falling on top of you and causing you to both hit the ground and get his weight on top of you in an attempt to maybe kind of knock the wind out of you, you end up falling apart, and you land on your back, partially getting the wind knocked out of you, and he lands on his face, partially smashing in his nose.
Ooh.
And he looks over at you, and he's got this big grin on his face with the blood rushing down his nose across his mouth, and he's just smiling at you, and he's like, I almost got you with that one.
Yeah, you did, but we might want to call it quits before Mom gets home. You know how she is.
Oh, shite. Didn't think of that.
She's gonna kill us if she sees blood.
All right. You're right. I'll clean up. I'll clean this up. You go. She doesn't know you're home yet, so just surprise her. That'll keep her distracted. I'll take care of this. Good to see you again, brother.
Call this a draw.
Yes, of course. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're back.
Good to see you too. And Razmith will help him up to his feet. And where would Frody's room be?
His lab is actually on the 4th floor of your house, up in kind of a corner where no one else really wants to go to, and that's why he kind of kind of took over that section as his lab.
Alrighty. I'm gonna sprint on up there, and whether he likes it or not, either he opens that door or I'm breaking it down.
Okay. Jacob, what are you doing?
I mean, he's not doing much. He was confused at why they left. And just kind of sat there awkwardly because you've ever been to a friend's house and then all of a sudden the two siblings start fighting each other and you're just kind of like, well, I'm here, I guess.
Okay. Well, while you're waiting there for a little bit, you hear a little bit of scuffling. It's just a few minutes out there, you know, and then you actually hear some laughter, and you see Razmith come back in, and he looks like he's kind of on a mission to head up some stairs. And
on my way back through, I'll kind of look at Jacob and say, Jacob, do you want to come help me get Frody out of his hole?
Sure, I guess I can help with that.
Awesome.
And Galador says, let him know I'm needing to talk to him.
Yep. I'll let him know. We definitely need to pick his brain.
Yes, well, I need to sit down and have a long talk with him about everything. He needs to know.
Right. I'll let him know.
All right. And she nods. So you guys head up the stairs, and a few flights of stairs later, you finally arrive at the 4th floor, and walking down one hallway, you both can hear, coming from the end of the hall, the sound of, every once in a while, kind of a hammer ringing out as if it was pinging against metal. And then some cursing. And then another ping. And then more cursing. And then silence for a bit. And then you hear other noises. And as you get closer, you also start to hear the sounds of, like, bubbling. Like boiling water or something, you're not sure, but more violently than just a small thing of water, you know, something big. And the smells start to assault you. Some of them are not so pleasant, some of them are actually very pleasant, but the combination of them is a bit overwhelming.
It's like spraying pretty smelling stuff in a shitter.
Yep, you've got flower-scented poop.
Hawaiian breeze shit.
Yep, exactly. So you guys come to this door, and it is a big, heavy oak door.
So do we knock, or do we just try to open it?
Well, yeah, of course. Let's try to knock. And I'll just... Frody!
Sounded more shut than a knock, but okay.
Well, I knocked. You couldn't hear me.
What? I'm busy!
Open the door.
I'm busy!
You're always busy.
Ah! And then you hear... Then the door opens, and there stands your brother, Frode. And he looks at you. He looks up at Jacob. And he looks at you and kind of whispers for a second in Dwarvish. It's not quite enough that you can't hear it, Jacob. But he's like, "Who's the beanpole?"
He's my friend Jacob. He actually helped me get here.
Okay. Do you say that out loud, Razmith? Oh, that was Diana.
Jacob was brought in Dwarvish. It's nice to meet you.
His eyes open a little bit, and he's like, and he kind of looks back, looks over at you, he's like, "Nice to meet you too, Beanpole!" And he smiles. And he's like, "Ah!"
I can send you across into a pocket dimension so fast.
And he kind of smiles for a second, and then he goes, "Oh, where was I?" Fine. If you're going to disturb me, you might as well come on in. And he turns around.
Right, what are you doing?
And he starts walking back over to one of the benches over there. And he kind of looks over his shoulder as he asks him it. And he's like, research! Always!
Oh, actually, I have some news to tell you. You remember up north where you were imprisoned, right?
Wait. Did you find it?
Well, okay, we found the place that you were imprisoned,
But did you find it?
No.
Then what are you doing back here?
Well,
I was able to come back for a little bit. We wanted more specifics.
He looks up
You
at
were able to.
He looks up at you, Jacob. Was this your doing? You bring him back here? I specifically said in the note. Get it?
I'm aware. I would want more information about exactly the thing we're grabbing, as well as I can also bring him back literally the next morning. So.
He looks at you for a second. A little bit quizzical look in his eye, and he smiles. He says, I be a fool. Obviously. I should have seen it right away. You're a practitioner, aren't you?
Well, I am wearing robes, and...
Anyone can wear robes. Charlatans can wear robes.
Well, I also have plenty of books.
And you think no
In
one can
fact,
buy a
I
book
am-
except a wizard? But I can tell you're no charlatan, are you?
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess I am higher up now than I ever had been before, but...
Diana, knowing his angry streak and all the things he's done, nah, you're still a charlatan.
Huh. Aye. What shall I call ye? I be Frody.
I am Jacob. Jacob Zerlin.
Pardon me for being a bit rude before. I'm Frody. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jacob Zerling. And, if
Good to
you
see
be a
that you're making along.
if you be a practitioner, and he looks over at, Razmith, you taught this one any?
No. Not that I was... Do I... Jacob just kind of like looks over to Razmith. Do I need to teach you stuff? Like, what?
I wasn't aware that you were supposed to. Frody, he doesn't have to teach me anything.
Sure he does.
He doesn't.
Like how to research better. I mean, come on. You're always spending time actually making things, but you never spend the time to really dig into the knowledge. Eh?
Well, because it comes to me easier than just constantly sitting there thinking about it.
Come on. What did Grandpa always say?
Oh, Grandpa was insane. He said a lot of things.
Okay, you're right about that, but still.
You gotta be more specific. What was he supposed to say?
I mean, about study it until you breathe it. Know it. Wholehearted. You have to. Otherwise you make the mistakes. How do you think we kept everything so perfect all these years? You think Papa could craft the way he does if he didn't know every detail about the ore? Every detail about the angle the hammer strikes and how hard it must hit in order to compress the metal just so. All of that requires the research. Hell!
Okay, and
You taught me that.
I learned as I was doing it. That's just come with actually actively doing it.
Well, some
No,
of us
that's
are.
the thing is that,
Some of us aren't as talented as you.
well, I was, pardon the intrusion,
No, go right ahead there.
it's the style of learning for each individual is different. So it is sometimes better to learn hands-on rather than research. I'm much better at the books thing and hypothesizing and even testing my own theories. So
Well,
I'm not necessarily just researching either.
I'm not saying this lightly, though. Because, well,
Are you saying this in lieu of the stone?
no, what I'm saying is, well, I guess partly that, but not all of us are as talented as you, brother. Okay? I had to work twice as hard to get even anywhere close. Hell, I traveled half the world just to learn half the knowledge you have. If you applied yourself even a tiny bit as much as I've had to, you'd be unstoppable. You'd be a legend. I just don't want you to miss out on your destiny. And, well, after what I've learned already, you might not have much time. Not if we do not do what is necessary, and you need to be prepared for that.
Okay.
Brody,
Yes.
Jacob is actually going to reach into his side where he kind of keeps his books, and he's going to pull out his cipher, which has a lot of the language of the ancients being used.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to kind of hand it over. Can you read this?
And he holds it up. He looks at it and he says, I, not all of it, but yes, I can.
Alright,
And this
then
here, no, you have this wrong. You must conjugate this verb here.
Oh, it's more of a rough translation. I'm not finished translating everything.
I see that, or I may be able to read it all, but no, I mean, I can understand a good bit of it, but not quite enough.
Alright, well, it's a language that I've begun to learn. Do you have anyone that can speak it?
This language.
Other than yourself.
I wish I could then maybe practice. Maybe get better at it then. None of these, and he looks at his brother, in my family, care to research enough to understand this stuff.
Well, okay, honestly, I had more interest in other things.
I know. And you're damn good at it too.
Oh, thank you. And I appreciate the fact that you do so much to do research.
Somebody has to.
I'm waiting for the question of, so how'd you even escape? Because it took me a while.
Did you ever, well, does your, I believe it was your grandfather, correct? Did your grandfather speak this? Or
Grandpa?
know this?
The crazy bastard? I mean, if he does, he doesn't share that info with any of us.
Grandpa kind of lost his mind a while ago, and
He's a bit of a
he
loon.
makes sense sometimes.
He's a bit crazy. We can
Okay,
definitely
well.
agree on that.
He's definitely entertaining to listen to.
Is he speaking, or is it just...
Oh, no.
He tends to get in like hysteria. He starts to relive the things he's talking about.
Oh, do you remember the time, what was it? must have been 10 summers ago. Remember when he got into the family stash, started drinking, went all night, and started telling that story about that bugbear thing that he ran into? Do you remember that one? Oh, ridiculous!
He tore up he tore up the house during that story.
Ma was so pissed.
Thankfully, she didn't take it out on him.
Well, you know, Pa wouldn't let her. Yeah. Protective of the old bastard he is. Someone has to be.
The final question then. I'm going to say a few words, and I'm going to ask if you've ever heard something similar being said by him. And then Jacob's going to speak in the language of the agents, just saying another kind of basic phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe something like, and then we fought a gracious battle kind of thing.
Not that I can recall, but you know, come to think of it, he didn't talk about battles so much. Well, except when he talks about, well, the Vorn Wars. But everyone knows about the Vorn Wars. But he did talk about something before once. He said when he was, well, I guess he would have been younger than us. But half our age, maybe.
Yeah, if he was maybe in his late hundreds.
Yeah, or maybe earlier. I think maybe he might have been barely over a century. But he talked.
That man's
He
old.
he mentioned stuff about not battles so much as keeping the peace.
I see.
Yes.
Really, Mom?
What's going on?
Oh, she decided to take a leap of faith down the side of the bed and then leaped of faith in the little sector between the bed and the wall like she's a fucking jackalope.
Maybe she is a jackalope.
Alright,
She
well,
could
I guess
be.
that's all the questions I needed answered. Well, I'll let you enjoy your conversation with your brother. Is there any place that I could stay for the evening before I can do this
we
again?
have a guest house.
A guest house?
Yes, we have a guest house.
Aye.
I'm sorry. A guest house, not
Yes.
a.
Yes, guest house.
Has he never heard of such a thing?
I guess not. Yeah, we have a guest house.
Jacob just now realizing how wealthy and prominent Razmith's family is.
Okay. I guess I will sleep in the guest house.
I mean, we do have another room available here in the main house, but...
No, it's fine. If there's a guest house, I guess I can stay in the guest house.
I mean, it has very fine accommodations.
That's not what trust me, this is not for
Is
Aye,
something wrong?
and-
Like, you sound very upset. Like, I want to help you here.
no,
And
I'm just
Millie is a sweetheart. She'll make sure that it is all cleaned up after, and that you'll have plenty of food, and anything you ask, you just ask Millie. She takes care of all that. I mean, we pay her enough. She better damn well.
You know she will.
Aye, she does a good work.
Hey.
Well, here, let me show you to the guest house. Frodi, I'll meet you downstairs. Galar would also like to talk to you, and
Oh, she's back as well?
I'm still waiting for. Yeah. I'm still technically waiting for for Mom's punishment. She's very mad.
Yes. You should have seen her when I finally got back.
I remember.
Yes. Just maybe butter her up a little bit with I don't know.
Well,
Buy her
I
something
think
nice.
I may have a treat or two that may persuade her.
Smart. I should have thought of that before I came back.
All right. Well, I'll meet you downstairs, and Jacob, I'll show you the guest house.
Alright, thank you.
All
Nice
right.
to meet you, Frody.
So, as it is already 10 o'clock, I will ask, is there anything anyone would like to do before we call it for tonight?
I can't think of anything.
No? All right, so in that case, we are going to say goodbye for tonight. We hope you had a good time with us. We hope you enjoyed the stream, and hope that we will see you again next week, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another episode of The Blackest Heart. And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.